Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to cut through the noise and really get to the heart of some big ideas. Today, we're diving headfirst into purpose and passion. It's a topic, lots of people talk about, but maybe don't fully unpack. Our mission. We've got this rich stack of sources, think ancient wisdom right through to modern business philosophy. And we want to distill what truly matters for you in finding a deeply meaningful path.
That's right. And look, this isn't just about chasing some fleeting passion that maybe you feel you should have. It's really about uncovering something much more profound, an authentic calling, something that resonates deep inside. We're going to touch on some, frankly, surprising insights that might challenge what you think you know. The path to fulfillment, it might look quite different.
Absolutely. And to help us figure this out, we've pulled together this incredible tapestry of thought. We've got Seth Godin, Wayne Dyer, Colin Chapman.
Natalie Goldberg, John Wooden, Simon Sinek, even digging into the Gospel of Thomas and figures like Winston Churchill. Quite a mix.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting into this with you. So let's maybe start with an idea that's a bit provocative. Yeah. It might just flip your whole understanding of passion, on its head. What if our passions aren't actually as inherent as we assume? Seth Godin has this brilliant observation. The rat doesn't know someone built the maze.
That's fascinating. It points to how much our supposed passions are, products of the systems we're in, the culture around us, not necessarily something we're just born wanting. I mean, think about it. You get kids in Cleveland, maybe they dream of being pro baseball players, right? Because that's visible, it's celebrated. But you don't hear many dreaming of being blacksmiths anymore.
Right. Or, like the source says, nobody 4 centuries ago was dreaming of winning an Oscar because, movies didn't exist.
Exactly. Our dreams, however sincere they feel, are really shaped by the possibilities we actually encounter.
So a screenwriter feels that passion deeply, but it fundamentally depends on there being a world where movies are even a thing. These dreams, powerful as they feel, they sort of emerge from what we see, what's expected. So if our passions are shaped by this maze, how do we even begin to see beyond the walls? How do we find what truly fits us, not just the maze?
Well, that really brings up the question of why we chase certain things, doesn't it? And Wayne Dyer offers this really powerful distinction here. He says, in every moment of life, you have a choice. You can either be a host to God or you can be a slave to your ego. Now, if we just chase these culturally constructed passions without, looking deeper, are we just feeding our ego? Seeking that external pat on the back.
Oh, the validation trap.
Precisely. It's that difference between needing to look good versus finding something that genuinely resonates inside, something that leads to, meaningful contribution.
Yeah, I think most of us have felt that tension. What I really want versus what the world says I should want.
Okay, so if we're not just blindly following these external signals, what's the way forward? Yeah. A lot of our sources seem to point towards something like an elegant strategy. It reminds me of Colin Chapman, the Lotus Cars guy, His philosophy was simplify, then add lightness.
Right. And applying that here, simplify, means letting go of all that needless complexity we build up. Often it's just to shield ourselves from fear, right? It's like the writer who spends ages perfecting their desk setup instead of actually, writing.
Realty.
Or the entrepreneur endlessly tweaking the business plan instead of just going out and talking to customers. That complexity feels productive, but it's often just a buffer, a shield against the vulnerability of putting your real work out there, facing rejection maybe, or even just the discomfort of creation. It's easier to adjust the font than risk writing a bad sentence sometimes, which leads to this really tough question, doesn't it? Are you inventing things to do to avoid the important work? Oof, I know I've caught myself there. What do you think drives that avoidance?
Often it's just a deep-seated fear. Fear of failing, maybe even fear of succeeding, strangely enough. Both bring change and uncertainty. And Natalie Goldberg, she puts it so bluntly, stress is an ignorant state. It believes that everything is an emergency. Nothing is that important.
Wow.
That unnecessary complexity we talked about, that's exactly what fuels this false sense of urgency. When you're drowning in details or tasks that don't really matter, your brain just flags everything as critical, even when it's just noise. Distraction.
That really hits home. Thinking about how many emails felt like an emergency that could have easily waited. Okay, so simplify, then add lightness. What does that mean in this context? It's not about being superficial, is it?
Not at all. Think about, say, a backpacker with just the essentials versus someone dragging a huge, heavy suitcase.
Okay.
The backpacker is agile, right? They can adapt, change direction easily. They're not weighed down. Lightness in our purpose means carrying only what truly serves that core direction. So you can respond, pivot gracefully when things change, instead of reacting frantically.
So it's like agility born from focus, knowing what's essential.
Exactly. A kind of profound grace, really.
So we simplify, we remove the complexity that shields us from fear.
Yeah.
But what happens if we don't do that work? If we don't engage with what's really inside? There's this insight from the Gospel of Thomas that really pulls no punches. It says, when you bring forth what is within you, what is within you will save you. If you do not bring forth what you do not bring forth will destroy you. That's pretty intense.
It is intense, and I think it's meant to be, because the stakes feel genuinely high. It really unpacks the severity of, like, unexpressed potential. The artist who never paints, the leader who never steps up, the teacher who keeps their insights to themselves. That potential, it doesn't just vanish. It can curdle, turn inward, become destructive.
How so? Like regret.
Yeah, deep regret, maybe chronic resentment, or just this heavy feeling of stagnation, like a part of you is sort of withering. It really frames it as internal salvation or destruction.
Wow, that ties right into something much more maybe practical from Naomi Judd.
Yeah.
She said, don't try to be more than you are, just try to be all that you are.
I like that.
So authentic expression, then, isn't about trying to achieve a scattered list of impressive-sounding goals or pretending to be someone else. It's more about focusing your energy, honing your actual genuine gifts, your capacities, bringing those forth.
Being fully yourself, not a diluted or scattered version.
Okay, so if authentic expression is key and we need to let go of complexity, what's the fuel for this journey? What sustains us when it inevitably gets difficult? John Wooden, the legendary basketball coach, he had a surprisingly simple answer. He just said, love is the most powerful four-letter word.
Yeah, and the power there, I think, isn't just about warm feelings. It's not just sentiment. It's about commitment. Real, deep commitment. That's the force that keeps you going through the tough stuff. It transforms duty into devotion.
How does that work practically?
Well, when you're operating from that place of love for the craft, maybe, or for the people you're serving, or the impact you hope to have, then setbacks change their meaning. They stop being threats to your identity and just become information, data, feedback for how to improve.
Because your core drive isn't just about winning that specific game.
Exactly. It's rooted in the process, the purpose, the devotion itself, not just the temporary result.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And sometimes to really bring forth what's inside, to commit like that, you really need support, don't you? You need someone in your corner. I love that anecdote about Winston Churchill. His son, Randolph, was attacked politically, called a coward, and Churchill apparently told the attacker straight up, do not speak to me. You called my son a coward. You are my enemy.
Wow. That's fierce loyalty. And what's powerful there is how that kind of unconditional backing creates safety. It allows someone to take meaningful risks. It's not saying you endorse every single thing they do, every flaw or mistake, but it provides this foundational support, this bedrock that says, I've got your back. Fundamentally, that allows for real growth, real experimentation. Even failure feels less threatening.
Because your core self isn't on the line in the same way.
Right. It fosters that authentic development we keep coming back to.
And that connects really nicely to Simon Sinek's idea about mentorship, doesn't it? He reframes it. He says, a mentor is not someone who walks ahead of us to show us how they did it. A mentor walks alongside us to show us what we can do.
Yes. That alongside piece is so crucial. It maintains your agency, your ownership.
Yeah.
It's about empowering you to find your path, your capabilities, not just trying to copy someone else's success.
It's helping you see your own potential.
Exactly. It reinforces that inner authority, that sense of what is within you.
Okay, so we've talked about simplifying, finding inner authority, love is commitment, needing support.
Yeah.
But what happens when things just go wrong? Which, they always do eventually. Miguel de Cervantes has this great line, very practical. He who's down one day can be up the next, unless he really wants to stay in bed.
Yes. It really highlights the power of choice, doesn't it, and how we respond to setbacks.
It does. You're not denying the fall, but you're focusing on the getting up.
And this links back to purpose, too. True resilience, it seems, doesn't just come from being emotionally tough, like gritting your teeth. It comes from clarity, deep clarity about what actually matters to you. If you're aligned with that authentic purpose, setbacks are they're data points, information.
Not identity crises.
Right. They give you feedback, let you adjust your course, but they don't derail your fundamental commitment. You don't want to stay in bed because you remember why you got up in the first place.
And speaking of maintaining perspective during tough times, there's that wonderful practice. Give thanks for unknown blessings that are on the way.
That's a beautiful one.
It feels like a kind of strategic faith almost. Keeping yourself open to possibilities, to hidden opportunities, even when things look bleak.
It's cultivating that optimistic stance, isn't it? Expecting good, even if you can't see the path clearly right now.
Which I suppose brings us towards wrapping these ideas together. There's this powerful directive from Fur Gray. Build your own dreams, or someone will hire you to build theirs.
Yeah, that's a strong statement, and I don't think it necessarily means you have to be an entrepreneur or reject collaboration entirely.
Okay, so what's the nuance there?
It's more about the foundation you're operating from. Are you approaching whatever you do, whether it's your own project or working for someone else, from a place of authentic purpose? Or are you doing it primarily for external validation? It's about asking, is this activity right now a genuine expression of my core self? Or is it more of a performance for others? Am I showing up as me or as the version of me I think people expect?
That's a constant check-in, isn't it?
Absolutely. And that leads to the final point, really. This isn't a one-and-done thing.
Right. The wisdom traditions constantly remind us learning is a good thing, even for one who is growing old, and wisdom is an endless pursuit. Finding and living your authentic purpose. It's not a destination you reach. It's a practice, a muscle you keep exercising.
And that practice always brings us back to that crucial question we raised earlier. Are we inventing busy work to avoid the important work? The issue isn't busyness itself. Everyone's busy. The real question is, does this busyness serve my authentic purpose, or is it just a clever way to distract myself from it?
Being busy doing versus being busy becoming.
Exactly. And when you piece all these insights together, the strategic simplicity, the authentic expression, the supportive relationships, the resilient optimism, the courage to align your actions, what emerges is this vision of, well, an elegant life. It's about finding that core truth within you, expressing it, and building everything else around that foundation.
It really feels like making these conscious shifts, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Choosing purpose over just chasing passion. Choosing authenticity over needing approval. Letting love, that deep commitment, guide you instead of ego. And focusing on meaningful contribution rather than just, impressive achievements on paper. It's definitely not the easy path,
No, not always easy.
but maybe profoundly rewarding.
Mm-hmm.
So as you, our listener, reflect on all this, maybe ask yourself this. What gift is within you? What gift will you share today? What's waiting inside you to be brought forth? We really encourage you to lean into that question. See how you can become the most white you that you can possibly be.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. It's been a rich exploration.